Let me show you in this video how a project was able to make significant capital appreciation in a much less time frame in this immensely complicated market of Dubai real estate, which is so difficult to crack. Let's say you somehow started exploring an investment property in Dubai. How it happened? Maybe you came across an AI generated render of a new project while scrolling on your social media feed that looked very fancy and got you to click a button to speak to an agent about that project who is saying that it is going to be the next big thing in Dubai and will provide a near 10% rental ROI. Or you went to a hotel in your hometown where there was a Dubai property exhibition happening from a developer, and the people you met there gave you a new project presentation with a projection of near 100% capital appreciation within a few years with the help of a payment plan. Then you do a bit of your own research on YouTube, wherein you reach out to few more agents in Dubai, and most of them are also saying that you should buy in this project because there is a lot of hype about that area booming in the future, and the project will get sold out at launch because a lot many people have put in their expression of interests. You get a feeling of fear of missing out and you buy a property in that project. So, what happens next? Did you make a right choice? Will that property turn out to provide great financial return in the future? Maybe, or maybe not. I will show you a strategy on how to make a winning choice. I will take an area in Dubai as a case study and speak about the historical timeline of the development there, like when the projects were launched and at what price, when they were handed over, what was the price when the project was delivered, and what are the current prices being traded in those projects. You will need to know a little more on the area to understand the projects I will mention if you are new to Dubai, but if you hear out to me, you will still get the insights from the data itself, like which project was a big success and which didn't perform well for the investors and for what reasons. By the end of my explanation, you will know a sure shot winning strategy to invest here in Dubai, especially with off plan projects, and trust me, which have become day by day difficult to choose the right one with so many options on the market and with much higher prices than the similar ready projects on offer. First, I will take Palm Jumeirah, and specifically I'm only going to talk about the projects on the crescent, which are these sections facing outwards to the sea where there are some hotels and huge resorts such as the Atlantis, as well as some residential buildings. Here on the table you can see the data for the existing ready projects on Palm Jumeirah. For every project, what you see is the time it was launched and sold in the off-plan stage, the price per square foot it was sold for, the handover year of the project and the average price during the time of the handover, the current average price and the current rental ROI, plus the appreciation it achieved from the launch price and the yearly appreciation rate if we count for the number of years it has taken. So what does the data tell us here? Out of the 12 listed projects, only 4 performed well on the capital appreciation, and those are mostly in the higher end range of the price segment. The best one is Atlantis the Royal project, where investors made an average of 119% gain with an yearly appreciation rate of 30%, which outperformed the Dubai market. The prices in this project have now touched near 9,200 dirhams per square foot, and many agents on YouTube say in their videos that the prices in Palm Jumeirah are at 9,000 to 10,000 dirhams per square foot, which is true, but only in the case of this particular Royal Atlantis project, not the whole of Palm Jumeirah. As you can see on the table that a bunch of projects are still hovering around 2,000 to 2,500 for many years. And moreover, the mistake a lot of people do is that they take in the misleading information provided by agents that if a 9,000 dirhams per square foot price has been achieved in the Palm Jumeirah, which is a waterfront location, so all upcoming waterfront locations such as Ema Beachfront, Dubai Maritime City, Rashid Yachts and Marina, Dubai Islands will achieve that price eventually. That is such a wrong way of analogy because those projects are no comparison to what Royal Atlantis is. It is not an apples to apples comparison. We see that the gross ROI on rentals is between 4.5 to 7%. That is what are the realistic long-term rental numbers from a high-end waterfront property here in Dubai. Apart from Royal Atlantis, no other project achieved any appreciation at the handover time from the launch price. The other three projects with significant positive appreciation, like the W residences, the 8 Palm, and the Serenia residences, actually achieved the hike in the prices much after the handover time with the recent boom in the Dubai real estate post COVID. Moreover, even despite the recent price boom in Dubai, still some projects on the list failed to witness any increase in the prices after handover. Now, that is where the project's in depth real values and factors played a role. Possibly in such projects, the properties were not offering any value add on feature that made new buyers get attracted to pay more for what it was already sold to previous investors to push the prices up further. These value add ons in real estate could be something like positive feedback from end users, better quality and maintenance, more functional layouts, high levels of amenities, and so on. It really matters that what is the state of the real estate market in the year when the project is launched or the year it gets handed over. See, for example, here the projects such as Kempinski and Anantara residences didn't perform great numbers on appreciation, despite having renowned global hospitality brands associated with it. Why so? Because they were launched or delivered in the worst time point of Dubai real estate market in 2008 and 2014 when the markets crashed, when the sentiment was low and there were not any buyers to pay the much higher prices. Somehow, at least they still managed to deliver the project because others, which were launched at that time, didn't even see the light. They were cancelled or even demolished midway on the palm. Now, if you carefully look at the full price per square foot graphs of these projects for the last 10 years, the price now has just touched to what it was back in 2014. So, someone who bought this property in 2014 is probably getting the same price for that property in 2025. But nonetheless, it is not that no one made money from these projects. Investors who knew that the price went substantially down in 2020 saw the surge in the Dubai market post COVID and picked up these properties at cheap prices because they knew that intrinsically these properties hold better value because of the brand and location. And they made significant appreciation in the next 4 years to come. So it also boils down to when you enter the market in a failed project. If you have liked the content so far, please hit that subscribe button. Let's move from the ready projects in this area to the under construction projects or off plan projects. What I'm going to tell further is the main story of this video. Serenia Living. This is the only project in off plan that has had a significant number of resale transactions to make a judgment that the project has gained an average of 37% appreciation and an yearly appreciation of 12.2%. Why it happened? There could be many reasons, but the number one reason is that the developer behind this project launched the project at just 3,000 dirhams per square foot back in 2022. Though they could have launched the project around 5,000 dirhams per square foot as the market was already in good shape in that year. But they realized a gap. The new projects that were launching around that time were in much higher price range, making it unaffordable for a lot of the investors, like the Six Senses project, which was launched at 5,700 dirhams per square foot in the same year. So those first time buyers of Serenia Living realize that they are getting a project at the price of 3,000 in an area where all the new projects are coming at more than 5,000 dirhams per square foot. That is the winning strategy. Buying a lower priced property in an area where other similar properties are higher priced. It is very simple to understand but hard to find. Maybe I cannot compare Serenia Living with Six Senses project, but for the other projects on the list such as SLS Ocean House, Ellington Beach House, Leaves the Light, One Crescent, it is still quite comparable but was sold at much lower price. And the cherry on the top was the location within the location. Now all these projects are on the crescent, but Serenia Living's plot was just next to when you enter the crescent from the fronts, so it is having much less travel time from the city. Moreover, it is just adjacent to Atlantis Resort on one side, just how the Royal Atlantis Residences is on the other side, hence making it in a more prime section of a prime area. From this top section is where the views to the fronts will look like in the perfect palm shape as well as the full marina skyline. And in Palm Jumeirah, the premium is attached to the views, so it does matter. For an analogy, just like how in a cricket stadium, the best seats are the one looking straight to the pitch, the same is with this section of Palm. And now, since the buildings are nearing completion, all those wealthy visitors who come to visit the Atlantis attraction, the Wild Wadi water park, and the Royal Atlantis will have a glance on this project on the way and will get intrigued by it. Just have a look at the resales happening. 37% was the average, I said. A few have even touched 100% appreciation. The price in last November was 3,800. Now in March, it is almost 4,200. And by handover time, which is end of this year, I expect it to reach 5,000 dirhams per square foot. So if you want to look into this project, or if you already own a unit and want to look for the right exit plan, you can contact me. For the Six Senses Palm Jumeirah, it also has appreciated by 14%. But one point to note here is that they gave a payment plan of 40% during construction and 60% on handover. Now, with that in consideration, the investors who made the exit so far during the construction have made the average 14% on the 40% they have paid. So their return on equity is 35% on the capital. And the same if we apply for Serenia Living, which was on a 50-50 payment plan, the return on equity comes out to 73%. I think for the Six Senses Palm project, once it will be delivered, it can reach the price levels of the super prime projects like Orla by Omniat and Armani Beach Residences, which are purely meant for luxury end user and are sold in between 8,000 to 9,000 dirhams per square foot. My last insight from the data here would be the expected rental ROI from the under construction properties that you can see on the screen, which is based on the size of their median price property and the expected annual rental of a property of such size on the palm. So the learning from the video is buying the lower priced project in an area with the higher priced projects. Let me present you another case study in another area to prove how this strategy works out well. There is an area next to Jumeirah, Al Wasl and Al Satwa where you have the Dubai Canal coming from the business bay all the way to the sea. In this section next to the Safa Park, there is a project called Canal Front Residences which was launched in 2017 but saw significant delays as a developer behind this project, Medan Group, got into financial trouble. Eventually, it was taken over by Nakheel, and the project is now getting delivered after 7 years. Despite an initial bad run, now when this project is witnessing resales, the prices have jumped from 2,200 in the last year to now 2,900 in this year. Why such a sudden jump? It's because it is the most affordable property in an area where all the other projects that are coming are really high end, such as Eden House, Four Seasons, Mr. C Residences, Kowali Kuchor, and Murbela Vale, where the average price per square foot in these projects is more than 5,000 dirhams per square foot and an average property at 20 million dirhams, and hence many agents brand it as the billionaire's row. So when someone can enter an area where the average price of a property is more than 5,000 dirhams per square foot, but he can get it at 2,900 and in the same location, if not with the same luxury finishings, but still can renovate at an additional cost, it does make sense. Hence, I see this project will further see more appreciation to the levels of a comparable property in the vicinity, such as the Eden House, the park, which is being sold around a minimum of 4,000 dirhams per square foot just across the canal. So if you have learned a few tips from this content, please give it a like and also help yourselves by subscribing to my channel where I speak the truth, the reality in the market and the real numbers. I'm an ex-financial consultant having done my MBA from a top-tier Indian B school and worked in few MNCs before venturing into real estate advisory solely because of my passion for the industry. Now I have an experience of more than 5 years in Dubai real estate, making me witness the journey of a project from the launch stage to the exit stage. Talking about my consultancy services to buy or sell a property, they are not for free. Well, I will not charge you any upfront fee for a consultation session that any tax advisor or lawyer would charge. But if you want to have access to my knowledge and my market understanding to make the right choice, I will open it up and build it upon a relationship. Once you get in touch with me, we would know each other more, and once the trust builds up, When I know that you are hearing my advice only and working with me is when I start providing the true advice, the one that will help you skip the wrong decisions and choose the right investment. Eventually, I will get paid from the transaction itself, and in most cases, without any cost to you. Let me tell you, what I show in the video is just the tip of the iceberg. If you want to access more information and data, rather than just watching, you can contact me on the number mentioned, but please do only once you are ready to fully engage in searching to buy a new property. If you own a property in one of the projects I spoke in this video and want to plan an exit, we can speak as well. Now, you may say in the comments that Ankit, I cannot afford to buy in this price range because this is the luxury segment and I'm looking for the best option at an average price of, let's say, less than 1500 dirhams per square foot only. So you ask me now, what should be the winning strategy then? What is that area? What is that project? I got a lot of insights from the 3 months of research I did to make this video, which you can watch by clicking here.